CoolMe 2000 for gas R134A, and CoolMe 5000 for gas R1234 years F. Fully automated charging stations for air conditioning systems. The first operation to do is to remove the scale block. Simply by unscrewing the rod and extracting it completely. Store the rod in the back pocket for future needs to lock the scale. If necessary, the balance can be locked again, for example for transporting of the equipment. During the turn-on phase, the CoolMe 5000 starts an internal cleaning process of about 30 seconds, before powering up all the electronics. A LED on the dashboard flashes to indicate that the process is in progress. Press the Options button to enter the main menu. Then press key 1 to enter the Equipment Settings menu. By typing 1 you enter the menu for selecting the operating language of the equipment. By typing 2 you enter the Date and Time Adjustment menu. Use the numeric keys to enter the values and confirm them with the OK key. By typing 3 it is possible to enter the workshop data, name, address, city, telephone number, fax, email, website and any additional notes. Data entry takes place via the keyboard in a similar way as a mobile phone. By typing 4 it is also possible to set another series of parameters. By typing 1 it is possible to set data storage, that is the storage of all recovery and reload operations. Selecting 1 activates the storage option. By selecting 2, the option is disabled. By default it is disabled. By typing 2 it is possible to set the washing function, which by default is deactivated and can be activated when the optional kit is purchased. By typing 3 it is possible to disable the oil scales. This feature allows you to use the equipment even without the oil scales, checking the quantities of oil directly on the graduated bottle. By typing 4 it is possible to decide whether to print the quantity of gas recovered in the automatic function. By default the recovered gas printing is activated. By typing 5 it is then possible to select the duration of the vacuum test. It's 5 minutes by default. Any value can be set as long as it is greater than 5 minutes. By typing 0 we go back to the previous menu. By typing 5 it is finally possible to set the charging mode. By default, selection 1, standard mode is set. In this mode, at the end of the charge, it is necessary to turn on the vehicle's air conditioning system and have the residual gas present in the pipes aspirated from the low pressure side. Selecting 2 allows you to set the compensated charge mode and the tube length. In this mode, at the end of the charge, the pipes are directly disconnected because the software automatically compensates for the residual gas that remains in the pipes. Remove the oil injection bottle and unscrew the cap. Take the bottle of new oil and put the oil in the bottle. Screw the cap back on and refit the oil bottle. Remove the tracer injection bottle and unscrew the cap. Take the bottle of tracer and insert the tracer into the bottle. Screw the cap back on and refit the oil bottle. Connect the adapter fitting to the cylinder and tighten well. Connect the service hose to the cylinder fitting. Turn the cylinder upside down to recover the refrigerant in the liquid phase. Open the tap to prepare for filling the equipment's internal cylinder. Let's now proceed to fill the internal cylinder. Press the Options key. Press key 3, cylinder filling. Set the amount of gas we want to recover. For the equipment to function correctly, it is important that there are at least 3 kilograms of gas in the cylinder. Press enter to continue. At the first installation, the function will start with 10 minutes of vacuum in the internal cylinder to eliminate residual air. Then it will automatically start to recover the gas. When the filling function is finished, close the valve of the external cylinder and press enter to complete emptying the tubes. Now the process is finished. The equipment is ready for use on the vehicle. Let's press stop and the process is finished. Let's connect the service pipes to the fittings on the vehicle. It is possible to carry out maintenance on the air conditioning system using the single functions. Recovery, to extract the gas from the system. Vacuum, to remove moisture from the system. Prepare it for recharging charge, to recharge the system. Or in automatic mode, which automatically carries out the 3 phases in sequence. In this case we proceed using the automatic function. Set the vacuum time, for example 15 minutes, and press enter to confirm. Select which hoses are connected to the vehicle. In this case it's both tubes. So let's hit key 3. Enter the amount of tracer to load. If we set 0, the tracer will not be loaded. Press enter to confirm. Let's enter the quantity of extra oil, in addition to the quantity of oil that will be recovered. If we set to 0, we will reload the same amount of oil that will be discharged. Press enter to confirm. Now let's enter the amount of gas to be loaded. If it is present on the plate in the car's engine compartment, enter that value. Otherwise it is possible to retrieve the data from the database. Press the database key and search for the make and model of the car by moving with the arrow keys. Type 1 to store the data and return to the automatic function. The value loaded from the database will appear on display. Press the enter key to confirm and start the automatic function. There will no longer be any need for operator intervention until the procedure is complete. Now the gas recovery phase has ended and the separated oil discharge phase begins. Once the oil discharge phase is over, the vacuum phase begins. In this phase, the residual moisture is extracted from the air conditioning system. Now the vacuum phase is finished and the test phase in search of leaks begins. In this phase, a possible rise in pressure is checked. After the vacuum and test phases, the oil, tracer and gas charge phase begins inside the system. Once the charging phase has been successfully completed, and the compensated charge has been set, the connections on the vehicle can be closed. Is now possible print the operation report. Pressing stop ends the operation and cleans the pipes from residual gas. At the end it is possible to delete the vehicle data that had been stored. In the case of hybrid or electric vehicles that are fitted with an electric compressor and require PO oil, it is possible to wash the internal circuit to remove the residues of POG oil before using the PO oil. Press the Options key and type 5 to select the page function. Remove the oil and tracer bottles and press enter to start the function. An internal washing cycle begins, at the end of which it will be possible to insert the bottle with the PO oil inside. Once the washing is finished and the bottle with PO oil has been inserted, we are ready to perform the operation on vehicles that are equipped with an electric compressor. Remove all the bottles of oil and remove the front thermoformed. Press the Options key. Type 2 Maintenance. and then type 1 oil change. Select 1 and start the oil pump to make it more fluid. At the end of this phase, it is possible to drain the oil. After draining the oil, close the drain plug and insert the new oil. Now you can reset the counter by selecting 2. Still in the maintenance section, we can then proceed to change the filter by typing 2. Start filter depressurization by selecting 1. This operation takes about 2 minutes and is used to remove the residual pressure from the filter before disassembling it. Remove the old filter and fit the new filter. The direction of the arrow indicating the direction of passage inside the filter must go towards the compressor. Now you can reset the counter by selecting 2. If we go back, we notice that the counter has cleared. By typing 3 in the maintenance section, you enter the balance calibration menu. Remove the cylinder from the scale so that the scale is completely empty. Select 1 to start cylinder scale calibration. Press enter to confirm the 0 value. Once the 0 has been stored, apply a sample weight, for example 10 kilograms, to the weighing pan. Type 10 kilograms on the display and press enter to store the second calibration point. Remove the 10 kilogram weight. Cylinder calibration is complete. Refit the gas bottle. In the same way, we can proceed to the calibration of the oil scales. Select 2 to start the calibration of the oil injection scale. Press enter to store the 0 value with the scale empty. Apply a sample weight, for example 200 grams, to the scale. Type 200 grams on the display and press enter to store the second calibration point. Now we can proceed to the calibration of the oil discharge balance. Select 3 to start the calibration of the oil discharge scale. Press enter to store the 0 value with the scale empty. Apply a sample weight, for example 200 grams, to the scale. Type 200 grams on the display and press enter to store the second calibration point. All scales are now calibrated.